For over 2.5 millennia, a king lay undisturbed beneath the frozen Siberian steppe, his tomb locked in a block of ice, untouched by time and the elements. This natural deep freeze preserved everything: fabrics, leatherwork, even the king's tattooed skin, shielding them from decay. The cold acted as a time capsule, keeping the past alive. Unlike the grand monuments of Egypt, this was a world of grasslands, where the empire was the open steppe. The vast open plains were both home and kingdom to these ancient people. The moment of discovery was astonishing. Not dust and bone, but a scene frozen in time, the air still and cold after thousands of years. It was as if the past had been waiting for us to uncover its secrets. The permafrost's icy grip protected the king and his treasures, offering us a vivid window into a lost world. Each artifact tells a story, each piece a fragment of a forgotten era. In most ancient burials, organic materials vanish, but here, the climate became the world's greatest conservator. The ice preserved what would otherwise have been lost to time. This king was not just a skeleton adorned with gold. He was a complete individual, his life and death preserved in remarkable detail. His story, etched in ice, offers a rare glimpse into the past. We see the clothes he wore, the saddle he rode, and the tools he used in his daily life. And the tattoos on his skin, a direct, intimate connection to a distant past. These markings tell us about his identity, his beliefs, and his culture. This preservation transforms archaeology from a puzzle of fragments into a living narrative. It allows us to piece together the story of a people long gone. The ice didn't just save objects, it captured a moment, the burial of a powerful ruler, held in suspended animation. This moment, frozen in time, speaks volumes about the past. As we thaw these secrets, we meet the people of the past, face to face, across the gulf of time. Their stories, once frozen, now come to life, bridging the centuries that separate us. Who were these people? The Scythians, nomadic warriors who ruled the Eurasian steppe for centuries. Their lives revolved around horses, granting them unmatched mobility and power. They lived in covered wagons, forming entire communities on the move, their culture shaped by constant migration. Scythian warriors and their mounts were nearly inseparable, dominating the battlefield with their composite bows. Their reputation for speed and surprise made them both feared invaders and respected mercenaries. Yet, they were not mere barbarians. Their art, filled with dynamic animal motifs in gold, reveals a sophisticated culture. This animal style was more than decoration. It was a language of power and identity, carried across the endless steppe. The Scythians' mastery of horse and bow shaped history for millennia. Step inside the kurgan, a wooden tomb chamber fit for a king. This ancient structure, hidden beneath a mound of earth, has preserved the secrets of a bygone era for centuries. The king lies in a log coffin, accompanied by a female companion, both dressed in silk, wool, and gold-adorned felt. Their garments, rich in detail and craftsmanship, speak volumes about their status and the era they lived in. The chamber is filled with objects for the afterlife, ornate tables, remnants of a final feast, and vessels for drink. These items were carefully chosen to ensure the king's comfort and sustenance in the next world. The scent of hemp lingers, evidence of ritual meant to guide the soul's passage. This aromatic plant played a crucial role in the spiritual practices of the time. Exquisite wooden decorations, colorful felt hangings, and leather pouches fill the space. Each item is a testament to the artistic skills and cultural richness of the Scythian people. A remarkable felt rug depicts a horseman and a goddess, a rare glimpse into Scythian mythology. This rug not only served a practical purpose, but also conveyed stories and beliefs. Weapons are placed within reach, ensuring the king is ready for any challenge beyond. These weapons symbolize the king's strength and readiness to defend his realm, even in the afterlife. Goods from distant lands, Chinese silk, Persian textiles, reveal a vast network of trade. These luxurious items highlight the extensive connections and wealth of the Scythian kingdom. The kurgan is more than a grave. It's a map of the king's world, and a testament to his power. Its layout and contents provide a detailed picture of the king's life and the society he ruled. Every detail speaks of status, belief, and the expectation of a continued existence. The artifacts found here are not just remnants of the past, they are a window into the values and aspirations of an ancient civilization. Among the treasures, gold objects stand out for their personal and symbolic power. Scythians adorned their dead with gold plaques outlining the face, and heavy gold torques signifying rank. Gold was sacred, untarnished, eternal, a symbol of divinity and the sun's life-giving force. Covering the king in gold transformed him, bestowing an incorruptible form for the afterlife. Scythian goldsmiths were masters, crafting intricate plaques and ornaments depicting myth and daily life. A famous gold pectoral shows griffins, horses, and scenes of Scythian life, gold as both art and narrative. These treasures declared the king's wealth and power, but also served as his passport to eternity. Gold was the divine skin he would wear in the afterlife, a perfect reflection of Scythian belief. The king's transformation in death was both a statement of status and a spiritual journey. In the Scythian worldview, gold bridged the mortal and the divine. Outside the tomb, a dramatic and haunting scene unfolds. Dozens of horse skeletons, carefully arranged, bear silent witness to an ancient ritual. These animals were not simply left behind, they were sacrificed with purpose, destined to serve their king even in death, as loyal companions on his journey to the afterlife. These were not mere offerings, they were the king's most prized steeds, each one selected for its strength and beauty. Buried with their elaborate harnesses and gold-adorned tack, the horses reflected the wealth and prestige of their master, their ornate gear glinting with the promise of continued glory beyond the grave. The horse was the cornerstone of Scythian society, a living symbol of power, freedom, and status. To own many horses was to command respect, and for a king, his horses were an extension of his very identity. For a king to be buried without his finest mounts would have been unthinkable, a sign of dishonor or poverty. The absence of horses in a royal tomb would have spoken volumes about the king's standing, both in life and in death. The presence of these horses ensured that the king remained a great chieftain in the afterlife, able to roam the vast celestial plains with the same authority he held on earth. In Scythian belief, the afterlife was a continuation of earthly existence, and a king's retinue was incomplete without his loyal steeds. The animals were chosen for their color, size, and spirit, then arranged in precise rows, a spectral cavalry awaiting their master's command. Each detail, from their placement to their adornment, was carefully considered to reflect the king's power and the importance of the ritual. Their tack was more than functional. It was art. Felt saddle covers, bridles with griffin-shaped cheek pieces, and richly decorated harnesses transformed these horses into symbols of myth and majesty, ready to carry their king into eternity. This practice reveals a profound belief that the afterlife mirrored the living world, requiring the same essentials, horses, weapons, and treasures, to maintain status and comfort beyond death. The sacrifice of horses, and sometimes attendants, was seen as the ultimate act of loyalty, completing the king's retinue for his final journey. It was a solemn duty, binding the living and the dead in a shared fate. It's a stark reminder of a worldview where the line between life and death was thin, and where the bonds of loyalty, power, and tradition endured far beyond the grave. For the Scythians, death marked the start of a journey, not its end. Tombs were subterranean homes, stocked with everything the king would need in the next world. The afterlife was imagined as a continuation of earthly existence, hunting, feasting, even fighting. Everyday objects and spectacular treasures alike were practical provisions for this journey. The soul traveled to a land of ancestors, a mirror of the familiar steppe. Sacrificed attendants and concubines were seen as essential members of the king's retinue, continuing their service beyond death. Herodotus described rituals of human and horse sacrifice, and archaeology confirms the reality of these acts. For a nomadic people, life and death were part of a single, unbroken cycle expressed through ritual and art. The kurgan itself became a sacred landmark, connecting the worlds of the dead, the living, and the gods. Lavish burials often evoke images of Egypt's pharaohs, but the Scythians shared a similar belief in an afterlife as a continuation of life. Both cultures filled tombs with goods, furniture, food, weapons, for use beyond death, yet their approaches diverged. Egyptians built stone monuments and practiced mummification, seeking permanence. Their afterlife was guided by written texts and a complex pantheon. The Scythians, as nomads, built tombs of earth and wood, relying on climate for preservation. their beliefs were encoded in oral tradition and art, not writing. The horse was Central Egyptians' buried chariots, but Scythians sacrificed and buried horses whole, ready to ride. Each burial mirrored the life its occupant led, one rooted in agriculture and rivers, the other in the open plains. The contrast reveals two worlds, each seeking immortality in its own way. Despite remarkable preservation, the Scythians remain mysterious. They left no written records. What we know comes from outsiders like the Greeks and the silent testimony of their graves. Archaeology deciphers their story, but many meanings remain elusive. The animal motifs, the felt hangings, the tattoos, were these marks of rank, spiritual protection, or clan identity? The graves offer clues, but not answers. The human drama, the relationships, beliefs, and emotions remains hidden. The Scythians are a people of whispers, golden treasures, frozen bodies, magnificent art, but no voices. Each discovery adds a piece to the puzzle, but the full picture may always elude us. The story of the Scythian kings is far from over. Thousands of kurgans still dot the Eurasian steppe, many untouched, each a potential time capsule. Modern science, DNA, isotopic analysis, advanced imaging, unlocks new secrets from these ancient graves. These discoveries are part of humanity's shared story, connecting East and West across millennia. The Scythians remind us that great civilizations can thrive without cities or writing. Their art and mastery of the horse continue to inspire. The mystery of the Scythians invites us to look deeper, to keep exploring the wonders of the ancient world. The horse lords of the steppe may be silent, but their legacy still echoes across the plains.